Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna bring back some memories with my childhood minifigures. Let's start having a look at the minifigures themselves, and then later we are gonna have a look at the rest of the build. Okay, let's start with some space minifigure. Here we are looking at a Blacktron 2 with jetpack. All these space minifigures came around 90 to 93. This is a M-Tron with air tanks. And now we have a couple of Space Police. This is Space Police 1, a little bit older. It was in production between 89 and 91. And then we end up with a Space Police 2 Chief, Captain Magenta. This was around 92, 93, I think. So this is a small selection of space minifigure. Now let's move on to the next one, which come from Paradisa. We have 3 minifigures from this team. This is a classic beach minifigure with horizontal stripes, and this is a female minifigure with red halter top. This came about 92 to 94, something like that. We also have a Red Riding jacket torso here. This might be a little bit older, between 86 to 92. I also wanted to show you another part of this team, which is this cool windsurf sail. This also came about 92, 94, and I put that in our in this mock as well. Let's move on to the Castle team. Here we're having a look at a Forestman with yellow feather and quiver. We are talking about late 80s here, 87, 88. This is another Forestman with red feather and a nice shield. And then similar looking but with different colors. Here we have a peasant with the basket at the back and a black hood. This is also, I think, around 1988. Now let's look at some knights. Here we have a black knight with shield, the typical minifigure sword. We have a breastplate, and then we have, of course, the classic minifigure red, and then we have a 3 feather plume on top. This should be coming out in the 1990, I think. I was really in love with this minifigure when I was a kid. Along with that minifigure in the same set came this ghost with brick as legs. This was in production, I think, between 90 and 95. Let's see a couple more minifigures from the Castle team. We have a Black Falcon with neck protector. This again came about 87, 88. And we saw a new edition sort of this minifigure with the latest Blacksmith Lego set. Another cool one is this Crusader Lion that came out in 1989. Next on the line, here we are moving in, I think, classic town theme. Here we have a blue overall and his, let's say, brother with a red overall, even if the color here is quite wear off. These were in production between, I think, half of the 80s, so the blue one was 84 up till the 2000, something like that. This probably is the oldest minifigure I had. I think this came out in the 1980. It's just a black shirt with 3 buttons. 1980. This is one of my favorite. This is a police with suit with 4 buttons. It was out about 79 to 91, and it came from this set, which is one of my favorite set, which is a police rescue boat from 1987, my favorite childhood set. From the same team, we have a post office torso, came out around 1984, 1986. And we have also a doctor as well. This is quite wear off as well, but I remember playing a lot with this when I was a kid. This came out in 1988, if I'm not mistaken. We have also some other minifigure. This is a Octan minifigure with a red head. And let's move finally to the pirate team. Here we are having a look at the pirate with black jacket and triangle head. Came out in 1992 to 1995. And then we have the classic pirates from Pirates 1. We have one with red and white stripes and blue bandana, and one with blue and white stripes and a red bandana. Of course, we cannot forget about the Imperials. I have two of them here. All of these came out from 1989 till, I think, the Pirates up till the beginning of 2000. And here we have another Imperial soldier with a bicorn head. Here a couple of extra elements that I'm gonna add to this mock. We have one of the classic cannons and a classic treasure chest. I also added a couple of extra pieces to this build that I wanted to point out here. One is a fence, 1x8. This was out in production since 1992. And also, of course, I had a few of the classic Lego trees. Here we have two different shapes, one triangular and one rounded, and also a smaller version. A couple of interesting parts that I added to this build, even if recent ones, is these curved slopes. I think it's the first time that I added that to a build, and it's gonna be part of the garage door. And also I went on and used some of these minifigure cape cloth that were going to cover the head of the photographer in this old photographer setup. Please let me know in the comment what is your favorite minifigure and if any of these remind you of your childhood. Okay, let's move on to the main build. Here we have my light box, my foldable light box. I put a blue background at the back, even if it doesn't look so good, but that's the best solution I came up with. I decided to create a sort of classic style white and red house, very simple, there's nothing inside. I started to line up some of the minifigure in front. I filled the garage with some of those items that I showed you earlier. As you see, at the back is empty, there's nothing there. I just put a couple of plates to make sure that the blue background cannot be seen from the windows and the main door. You see here we have a couple of items, including a white horse that came with those Castle Team minifigure. This is built in two parts. The front part is basically just the garden, the grass, where I line up all the minifigure for this family portrait in different heights, someone standing, someone sitting, someone on top of benches, and with a few plates I arrange a little bit so that everyone can be seen. Because this is been submitted on Lego Idea as part of the retro category puzzle contest, I had to take just one picture. I added a few green plates at the background there, so in the pictures there's no white gaps, and I did the same at the front with another base plate, adding some black tiles to create a little bit of additional road, so that in the final shot there's no white background. Anyway guys, I know that this is not a very technical build, it's very simple, but I thought it was nice to share with you some of my old collection of minifigure. Please stay tuned for the next builds, and please remember to like and subscribe.